right, y'all. Welcome back to the Beach Court podcast. We're gonna have a full, fun, jam-packed episode for you this week, and we're gonna jump right into it. So let me just introduce my co-host real quick, Maddox Corcoran and Parker Greenwald. They're two of the best in the business. I'm Eric Ridgway. I'm just here. They carry me. I'm gonna have a lot of fun today. We're gonna get into prepping you for EUIC. The European International Championships are next weekend. We're going to kind of just talk about the general state of the format, give you some ideas on like the top decks, what the best deck lists are, and what their general trends are in the current, metagame, right? We're going to talk about, I'm going to have my trivia segment for my friends. I'm going to try and stump them again this week. I have a little bit of twist for you guys this week. I think you might like it. So you'll want to stay around for that.
Something unique, new longer format, new twist of trivia. Everything's getting thrown on its head this February.
It is not based off of Limitless.
Oh, there we go.
We will talk about, of course, the Orlando Regional Championships. As of recording, all three of us are signed up for the tournament. It will be Maridon's last ride. If you want the deck list, you just let me know. I'm sending it. We're amping. It's happening. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But yeah, anyways, we'll talk about Orlando, give our thoughts on the registration and kind of the hype around the tournament. And then we'll talk about some more updates of what's going on with in Sydney. There is some news in the regional in Sydney. We'll talk about that. And then we'll give you our reminders about the new rules that are, for EUIC. And then we'll close it out with some predictions. But yeah, so that's our agenda for today. Let's get right into the first topic, which is the state of the format. And we can't go any further without talking about Gholdengo. Gholdengo is like the best, strongest deck in format. And it's a 20% deck. But, our resident Maddox, he's been a Gholdengo grinder. So, Maddox, why don't you kind of give us the state of Gholdengo heading into the European International Championships after our format has been extended for another tournament?
Exactly. I mean, Gholdengo is here to stay for a while. I mean, for the rest of the tournaments in February, it's still one of the best decks in the room and one that you need to be ready for, right? Like Eric said, it's one of the best decks in the room, and it's not always winning every tournament, but it's one that like every deck needs to have a game plan for, or you're just going to get run over. So again, how Dango looks like lately is we actually just saw it won a major event, a special event down in Auckland. Yep. Peter Lowe running a Gholdengo list. And I mean, really like the Gholdengo list, and we're showing it here also, but like the Gholdengo list you see is kind of the core that we're expecting now. Gholdengos now have fully adopted the Mega Lopunny EX technology, saying it's your all-in-one cornerstone answer into also Crustle as an out. And also just like as a game plan into Gardevoir with Jellicent, which has also become a pretty mainstay in the format. So, I mean, this type of build is like really what we're seeing from a lot of Gholdengos these days, where you're seeing the rocks plus the 4-3 Gholdengo line, the 1-1 Lopunny supported by TM Evolution. And then also like every Gholdengo deck has some sort of tech that needs to be ready for it, because Gholdengo is so popular right now, you're expecting to face one. So you have to have some sort of game plan when you face off against another Gholdengo. So Peter Lowe here chose the Hops Crammer, which I think is going to be a popular choice for those looking for like a one easy card answer to significantly help in the mirror.
Yeah, I mean, do you think this list is like 3 boss is like the standout for me, right? You got 3 boss plus the prime catcher, no counter catchers, no comeback cards like the Ionos, like. I mean, you think these lists are starting to trend towards 3 boss?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple different builds you see, right? So Peter Lowe, as you said, did play the prime catcher. So I think pretty much any list playing the prime catcher right now is cheating a spot with that 4th boss and just playing 3 boss, 1 prime. It gives your 3 bosses orders plus your 4 Arvins all as outs to an early gust option. We do see some of the secret box lists. Most of them are playing 4 boss, except for one exception, which I'll get to in a little bit. But again, for the most part, they're really around this like 4 boss or 4, unconditional gust to just be really aggressive and keep up what's really strong about the deck. I like to point out like Justin Templar's list, who was top 8 in Toronto. They played the secret box as well as 4 bosses orders. So even with secret box, even with different A specs, they're still going to that 4 boss. The exception being Josh Frink's recent 3rd place in Merida list, which was actually playing a bit of a disruption package, played an Iono Countercatcher Watchtower combination to go along with the secret box. Really kind of gives you some extra like comeback play potential. Also went along with the Lopunny. So Iono is like not the standout, Countercatcher is not the standout, Watchtower is not the standout, but all 3 together is a proven archetype that I think if you see some of those, you'll kind of expect to see all those together. And the other piece there is like, again, there's always going to be some tech in these Gholdengo decks, whether it be the Hops Cramorant, Monkey Dory with Vitality Band is also even there somewhat, or the Premium
Interesting.
Power Pro with
Yeah.
Vitality Band. A couple of ways to help in the mirror. And also do want to point out that Justin Templar list, and it's seen a little more popular lately, is the one of Bravery Charm, even in Gholdengo, right? You don't have a big basic that you're attacking with, but makes your Pheasantipity a little bulkier, and also protects your Gimme Ghoul from getting like potentially devoed, things like that. So, because a bunch of neat cases
In
and
Premiere,
mirror
you just put the
applications as
charm
well.
on the one gimme or something.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's also great because in the mirror you can go and like bench a gimme with a
Yeah.
charm,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
and then you can't Cosmic Beam it, even with Premium Power Pro and Vitality Band, which a lot of Zango decks are also playing. So,
That's pretty good.
yeah, that's kind of the way that like Dangos are looking these days. And again, I think Peter Lowe's list is like a pretty solid example where you see the low putty and the TM evolution to get it into play as like the go-to standard right now.
Yeah, what's your overall feeling on the deck heading into the European National Championships? Is this a deck that, is going to win the tournament? Or, I mean, is this just a deck that's really good? It's going to have strong finishes, but probably doesn't have the strength to get to the win.
I think Gholdengo does have the strength to get you the win. It's one of those decks that I think is only held back by the amount of respect other decks give it in the format right now. And it kind of, if you're playing a deck, that's not the Gholdengo, you need to continue to respect Gholdengo in some regard, because that deck is going to be popular. I do think it's a deck that can win the tournament. I do think it's still a pretty hot play heading into EUIC. When other decks are doing well, we saw Marty's Grimmsnarl winning in Merida. We saw Dragapult winning in
Yeah.
Birmingham. Right, when these other decks winning, and you start thinking, oh, do I have to worry more about Dragapult? Oh, do I have to worry about Marty's Grimmsnarl? Do I play other cards for that? All the cards that help you against those two decks do not help you against Gholdengo. So if there's any distraction ever from Gholdengo, it's well positioned to make a run. And there's a lot of very, very strong Gholdengo pilots that love playing Gholdengo with Secret Box that are in Europe that I'm sure will be continuing to pilot it
Sure.
until it rotates. So I think it's a little deck to watch out for. I'd say keep your Gholdengo text, because it's going to show up, and probably Secret Box is kind of the new growing way, whether it be the build of the Europeans with like their Mega Mawile and just kind of a straight consistency list, or even this new like Disruption Agency package from Josh Frink.
Parker, what are your thoughts on the Gholdengo heading into UIC? You think this is a hot deck or not?
I think it's definitely a hot deck. I mean, it's just like so streamlined, it's just so strong.
Yeah.
It's just like the draw 3 and then draw 2 and then draw 2 and then best ball gets you 2 of you guys and things.
Oh yeah, the amount of times I get Iono to 2 and end up with 13 cards in my hand is just like way too much.
I'll KO Fez Iono.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
like I just kind of
Anyway,
I kind of go to your cup this weekend in top 4 where your opponent's kind of like had a dead hand, and you realize that, and you went to Gholdengo and took the knockout, and like top decks Nest Ball, and it's Nest Ball for Fez, Fighting Gong, Nest Ball, Cosmic Beam. It's like so many things, and he finds a knockout on your Gholdengo to kind of put you behind there. I was like, wow, one card did that, bro.
That doesn't need much. Gholdengo does not need much to get rolling. That is for
Well, I
sure.
mean, that's like the age-old, the age-old thing about Gholdengo, right? When it was first a deck, the most problem of the deck initially was consistency, right? It was consistency, and it was, like just you're only attacking with 2 prizers. And now the deck is, you have Genesect to find your Gholdengos, which is ultra consistency. You've got Soul Rock and Lunatone to draw more cards, which is extra consistency. And you've got Soul Rock to attack, and you can always choose his other attackers like Lopunny, Hops Cramorant. So I think the deck's pretty hot heading into EUIC also. But next up, we'll talk about Gardevoir, which is the second most popular deck by far. There's definitely some different variations of Gardevoir running around there. And Parker, you're kind of our expert on Gardevoir right now. What are your kind of thoughts on the best Gardevoir list right now?
yeah, as the Monkey Dory attached pass expert here on the podcast, I think that Gardevoir is and always will be a crazy play going into any event. Big question is like the jelly or no jelly, and right
Yeah.
now, the list that I kind of reference would be like Henry Chow's list, obviously, and then Giovanni Sasso's winning Toronto list that he then also just played the same 60 to Merida. Very broke, why fix it? But the lists like kind of they kind of look similar now. Chow has chosen to cut the balloon which, you know, I don't know,
The
might be bringing
Drifloon.
it back. Oh, yeah, Driftloon. Might be bringing it back for EUIC. I don't know how that fares into Charizard without it, but um, yeah. I mean, the key differences in the list, like if I sit down, my opponent flips over Ralts, it's really hard to tell, honestly. The only thing that can like really determine kind of what's playing it is like I think if they open Frillish, I'm like he's probably playing Jelly, or if they open Latias, then I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, it's probably Jelly.
Latias is a big tip
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah,
jelly decks for sure.
yeah. The key differences between the two lists, there's gonna be two Frillish in the Jelly list, and then you'll see Devolution, Watchtower, that kind of stuff. In the Henry Chow's list, at least as of current, he's got the Luxurious Cape, and then plays a lower count of rare candies. But
Unlike Henry.
yeah, yeah,
But
kind of
he's
like
playing
Henry.
two evolutions that kind of counter
Yeah,
that.
Right, yeah, yeah, yeah. Two
yeah,
evos,
I
because
mean, kind of the idea in general is like the Guardy without Jelly deck is like less reliable at attacking with Frillish, so you need
so
you need to like lean into
need to
evolution to get around item lock. Meanwhile, like in the Dragapult with Jelly Guardy, you can just be like, "Oh, you're itchy pawing me, cool. Monkey Frillish, you're dead." Like now I'm
you're
putting
dead.
pressure on item lock, and then they
Yeah.
just need to miss a turn. They say, "Okay, boom, slam the Candy Guardies." So
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I
Parker,
think
what
the child list is really pretty good. Go ahead, Maddox.
Yeah. Parker, what you think about this two Ralts business in Jelly Guardy? Like, is that just truly enough when you can lean on Frillish so much?
I mean, evidently it is. I feel like I would just never see Ralts ever, but you know, it
I mean, Chris is winning with it. One of our
that
locals. He
is he
won
on the
back to
two
back cups.
Ralts?
Yeah, he won back to back cups
Yeah,
with that list.
okay, okay.
I mean,
True.
it's good. I mean, again, I think the idea here is like if you can, sometimes you can just build enough of a board with like Frillish or Jellison to like buy time, which I think just gives it
Exactly.
so much to work with. The
Yeah.
and also some cool like tech inclusions, right? Giovanni Sasso with the Secret Box going along with the Team Rockets Watchtower to help into the matchups a little more,
Right.
which I think is pretty cool inclusion.
Mhm.
And like you said, maybe that's your one way to help Vindazard a little bit.
Sorry, yeah.
You
That
know, some
was
of the
like
trends that we'll talk about, it seems like they're all cutting Diancie, like for the most part. Like nobody's playing Diancie, right?
The straight Guardy, like the Chow Guardy list is not playing Diancie, but all the Jelly lists are
Oh,
playing.
all the jelly lists. So
yeah,
jelly
So
so
lists. Okay, so
yeah.
that's another way to
you
find
kind
out
of
if it's
need a
jelly.
nuke button in that list. It seems like.
Okay.
Mhm.
So if you're playing if you're playing the jelly list and you see your opponent, like if you're playing against Gardevoir and your opponent has a mega, probably think it's a jelly guardy then. It's kind of a
Mhm.
good another good tip. So you got the Latias, you got the mega. Those are some good tips. If you see two Frillish, those are some good tips to know
Yeah.
that it's like a jelly guardy. So even if jelly's not hitting in the field, we know it's lurking there somewhere.
He's in there somewhere with
Is
his
in there somewhere.
mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think another thing to call out with the trends is they're all adding Turo back, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Mhm.
like which is interesting because it enables some like cool monkey dory strategies with like the bench being locked later in the game. Gardevoir just has like a large toolbox. And I
Oh, for
am
sure.
ready for this purple psychic embrace gal to hit the showers, man. Like a couple
Hit
more
the
months.
road.
I'm ready for her to go. And I'm sure she's ready for Iron Hands to go, but she doesn't catch those hands one more time in Orlando.
True.
Anyway, so Parker, a final take. I mean, if you had to choose right now, if you're going to go to EUIC, are you playing Jelly Guardy or non Jelly Guardy, and why?
I personally, I would have to test with the jelly more. But I think the jelly is like slightly stronger in the meta. I think like just having a good Dragapult matchup is like good, and like it just went over there.
Max, what do you think? Same question.
I mean, they're both pretty solid plays. I feel like you get so much just like power out of the Henry Chow list, and I just like the speed of it. A little more consistent, right? You know, I think the Jelly Guardy list is one of those where it's like if you get a turn with Frillish, then you're fine, and like you have a little stronger potential, but it takes like longer to win games. I think with the Chow Guardy, especially when you're going to like a big tournament or even like best of one of your locals or best of best of 3 cup. Like if you need like speed to win these games in the best of 3 minutes, like Gardevoir, like Chow's list, I think gives you that option a little more, the more ability to prize race, a little more like explosive potential, and even
Yeah.
just to steal some games like a Frillish Lux Cape against a Gholdengo or just a Screamtail Lux Cape 8 energy Iono CC and just like start like destroying boards, right? So I think personally, if it were me playing Gardevoir, like I would lean into that a little bit more. But like if you like this like tactical approach with like Jellicent and saying like I have so many ways back into the game even without getting a Ralts into play, then like Guardy Jelly is that list for you, and it's proven that it can do that.
Yeah, and final take for you two. Is the deck hot or not, Parker?
I think it's hot.
Why do you think it's hot? What's hot about it?
I mean, you already know like the best players from like America or all over are sleeving it up right now in their purple sleeves or
In
whatever.
their FCBCs is what you're saying? They're sleeving it up right now?
Mostly, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the American players are going to show up and play it. Those top European players will show up with it as well, for sure. But Eric, we can't talk about Europe and about Gardevoir without the deck that's beloved in Europe that beats Gardevoir, right?
Yeah.
Talking about Charizard, of course.
I mean, of course we're talking about Charizard. It's a dark attacker. It's has weakness advantage into the Gardevoirs. But these Charizard lists are not the Charizard list of old. They don't have 4 boss, and they're not getting turn 2 candy Charizard candy Pidgeot boss, right? They're not getting that these days. But they are getting a little more consistent, which is weird with the statement I just made. So if my opponent flips over Charmander at the start of a game, like the first thing you have to think about if you're playing against Charizard is my opponent playing Donzard? Are they playing Charizard Pidgeot? Or on the off case, are they playing Dragapult Charizard? Right. So there's some hints that can kind of lead you down that route. So the first hint is if your opponent chooses first, they're like 100% playing Donzard, right? 100%. If they choose second, then they're most likely playing the Charizard Pidgeot list. I would say like 90 times out of 10, but maybe in Europe there's Dragapult Charizard's better than Charizard Pidgeot. I guess we'll see, right? I mean, Jesper Eriksson just had a really good win, or sorry, second place.
Second place.
And all the credit goes to Oscar Madsen for that list. So I'm going to talk about first the Donzard list and some of the inclusions with the Donzard. And both of these decks, they're very similar, which is weird, right? When you talk about the tech cards and the trends, they both play a 2/1/1 Dusknoir line. They both play Klefki. They both play Briar, right? What the only difference really is the engine, right? Of like how we're getting going, right? Are we playing 4 Lilies or are we playing 4 Dawn, right? And so these Noctowl decks, they're playing 4 Dawn to be able to put Terapagos into play, enable Jewel Seeker, find Rare Candy Pidgeot, and just keep going, right? So that's what they're doing. And then the deck that's not Donzard is the Charizard Pidgeot deck here from Oyvind. And this again just has 4 Lilies, 2 Arven, 2 Iono, just a different engine. It's got Secret Box as its ace spec versus a Prime Catcher, and loves his Messagos that'll be able to flip coins. I think Chi-Yu's also another big standout in this list. You don't really find Chi-Yu's in the Donzard against the Gholdengo players. So I think that's something, if you're going to play Gholdengo, which is like one of the best decks, kind of look out. If you're playing against Donzard, probably no Chi-Yu or Moltres. If you're playing against Charizard Pidgeot, most certainly there's a Chi-Yu in there. So those are some of the things I have to say about Charizard Pidgeot.
Yeah, I feel like the Donzard list, as you get into it, right, it has a little more of that like early consistency and can be a little more explosive with a early Curse Blast plus Zard Prime Catcher knockout potential. Like the Charizard Pidgeot builds are like a little more like restrained in that they need to get their board set up a little wider, like they're falling behind a little bit, and then using their power to catch up versus like the Donzard sometimes can really just like
run you up the
start
board
attacking
fast
and stay ahead, right? I'm going to go first, turn 2 Candy Zard and just start smacking, and like a lot of decks aren't ready for that.
I mean, I've seen Donzards win in 2 turns and 2 attacks, and it's like, what? what just happened, bro?
Yeah, Prime take 2, and then Curse Blast, Briar, KO for 4 prizes. Like,
It's like, what just happened, man? You know?
yeah. And I think that explosiveness you don't really get out of the Charizard Pidgeot, but what you do get is a little more late game, like sticking power, and maybe a little more resilience against some like Tom and like Terror Box like weaknesses type of thing.
I think it's important to call out that both most popular lists are only playing 2 Iono, which I mean I think Charizard. I remember when I was scared of Charizard, they were
Four.
playing 4, man. It
They're
was a
playing Unfair Stamp, right?
they
Like
playing unfair
lots of things.
stamp 4 Iono, and I'm like, I'm over here like Raging Bolt. I'm like, crap. Do I take a knockout here? Like, is my board strong enough to withstand what's about to come? And if the answer to that is no, I'm probably gonna get smacked anyways because there's a Duskull staring at me in the face, right? Like,
Mhm.
so it's weird. It's weird to call out that like Donzard, I'm not scared of as much anymore because they're not owning me every turn mostly.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem, and want to check with your expertise on this, Eric, is if they're not ioning you, they're probably bossing you, right? So I mean,
Mhm.
I know the Donzard list as you have on the screen, right? The 2 boss, 1 prime catcher. I mean, we're seeing like 3 boss become a little more trendy in Zard, yes?
Yeah, I
Is
mean,
that, is
I
that
think
what's
the
latest?
trend is like, I mean, I know the Dragapult Charizards are playing 3 boss,
Mhm.
and they all want some type of like 3 Gust cards. So you see that
Mhm.
the Pidgeot list is playing 2 boss, 1 counter catcher with a secret
Yeah.
box to enable it,
Yeah.
and
And the Pal Pad to even get the boss back.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Palpatine to get the boss back, and adversely, the Donzard is playing 2 boss and a prime catcher. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, they're just trying to set up. I mean, that's their. You can see that like when you look at their list, like while the bosses are so important and they're vital, right? All they care about is setting up and going through your active or using Curse Blast to manipulate prizes. Like that's like the general Charizard like Infernal Rain, Quick Search, 2 of the strongest abilities in the game, right? Like you put those
Mhm.
2 on the field together and the deck just fires. Um, so I really think, with all that being said, I just gave a lot of praise to Charizard, and I like some Dragapult Charizard right now in the Ascended Heroes format. But I do not think Charizard is the play for EUIC. I think it's not hot. I'm on a hot take. I don't think it's hot, and the reason why is very simple, and it starts with drag and it ends with uphold. I mean, we just saw Ethan Wild take it down over in Europe, right? I mean, he said, "Oh, everyone's
Mhm.
playing Charizard. I guess I'm playing Dragapult," and Dragapult farms Charizard. So um, I expect a lot of good players to be playing Dragapult in EUIC. So I don't see Charizard being that good of a play for EUIC. Hot takes? What do you guys think?
I mean, the part we do have to say is that while Ethan Wild did take down the regional in Birmingham, just a little bit away from London, there were 4 other Charizard decks in the
Yeah,
top 4 in the
five,
asymmetrical cut.
five.
5. Oh, sorry, 5. Well, if one was Dragapult
Oh
and
yeah.
Charizard, that counts for both teams. So, Parker, I mean, you think you'd have the same take there?
I mean, I think it's kind of hot. Like obviously Dragapult's favorite in a way, but like I don't know, man. Everyone, all these Donzard players are like, oh, the hand kind of stinks. And then
Dawn.
turn 2, they have like
Travis.
Dusknoir, Charizard,
I
Pidgeot,
mean,
bossing my guy, and I'm
yeah,
just
you're
like,
not wrong. I mean, Dawn
I,
really like. There was one guy at a local cup recently who was like, "My hand's terrible," and I looked at it. And I was like, "You got 2 Dawn." I'm like, "Yeah," like Parker said, like next turn his board was like crazy. Like Dawn opens the deck so much.
Yeah.
yeah,
And the problem here is, you're getting, is Zard flown a little too close to the sun, right? We've already talked about Gholdengo list and Gardevoir list playing Watchtower.
Yeah, no,
Is
they're
it
getting a
possible
little
these
doggy
decks
by
just get,
that.
yeah, is it possible these just get run off the board before it gets started? But
Yeah, and they're not playing very many stadiums. Each deck is only playing 2 stadiums. But
Mhm.
at least the Charizard Pidgeot player has like secret box off of Arvin to get the stadium. So,
Yeah,
but the Donzards, I mean, I know like
praying for an area 0.
find
yeah,
it.
Praying.
one of our locals is like I think he's like up to 3 or 4 stadiums because he's been getting watchtowered so much.
Mixing a
So
Chen Pao, got some extra stadiums. You got some techs in there if you want to squeeze them in.
but yeah, I mean, so that's my hot take for Charizard. And speaking of the deck that it loses to, we're going to talk about Dragapult next. Dragapult is a comeback deck, and it is strong. It is the most strongest item locker in format. I mean, I
Mhm.
think Guardy Jelly wants to like say they are, but I think Dragapult still is the strongest item locker.
Yeah, I mean, Dragapult just has this ridiculous ability to just like prevent you from playing the game and then right,
Overrun you.
it's a slow stage 2 deck, but if you just give it like 2 turns and it's just chaining Phantom Dives, like there's no better attack in the game than Phantom Dive right now, and the amount of damage you can do in just 2 or 3 and just announcing that attack 2 or 3 times. So we've already mentioned him a good bit, but Ethan Wild just won, a few weeks ago, the Birmingham Regional Championship, not too far from London, with this Dragapult list. The standout inclusion here is there's been a little bit of a war that Dragapult players have considered is, do I play the monkey or do I not play the monkey? Ethan clearly says you do not play the monkey, and instead you play a Moltres. Moltres from Phantasmal Flames, kind of gaining a little more popularity. We saw it in a top 4 finish from Karis Jones in Toronto, and it's been gaining a little more trendy lately to help into the Gholdengo matchup. And Ethan Wild just brought it all the way to a win here. So we've seen Moltres pop up in a few other decks, but I think the notable piece here is, Moltres could be a mainstay here in Dragapult decks going forward. Other pieces you're accompanying with that is up to 3 bosses orders, really just leaning into that heavy gust more often to find it,
3
especially in
boss,
mirror.
3 counter catcher is crazy.
Exactly. I mean, especially in mirror, like it's so important to get that impactful Phantom Dive first type of thing. So just more ways to find it, get more aggressive with it, helps into other matchups too, like Absol. And even just finding it like when you need it for, item lock, trickery, or into Gholdengo to trap a Genesect, right? There's a lot of valuable gust in here. You want the comeback gust against decks like Gholdengo, and you want the aggressive early gust in the decks like Charizard and the mirror as well. So I think this 3 bosses is like really the standard that we're kind of getting up to, and monkey business might be going away in favor of just some more raw power.
I think the standout to me is the Moltres, right?
Definitely.
And the reason why that a lot of people don't understand what Moltres is enabling, there was a period of our meta when Gholdengo and Dragapult were kind of like going against each other, and they're like each trying to figure out how do they counter each other, right? And most Gholdengo players kind of settled on Picnic Basket because the general heal card that heals all of your Pokemon for 30 damage, and it also helps against matchups like Grimmsnarl and things. So it had some other applications. But the Moltres, what it does is allows you to play around that Picnic Basket and still be able to go Phantom Dive the next turn and take those KOs on the bench. So I think that's pretty interesting to see. Because you can, it does go below the 200 when you heal that, but then you just Holucha and you're good, right? So
right.
I think it's pretty cool interaction that a lot of people with the Moltres really aren't thinking into that Dingo matchup and its application there. It also just allows you to prize race like a dragon, a Raging Bolt. They're like, oh, you've got
counter catcher Moltres.
Counter catcher Moltres. Oh, you KO'd it, cool. Night Stretcher, attach, boss. It's it's pretty interesting that what it allows you to do, and we'll talk about its applications in other formats too.
Yeah, just like an efficient, like low to the ground attacker
It's
into
really
some of
good.
your trickier matchups. There's some good value to it. They want to just talk about more of these successful lists again. I don't know if Moltres is going to catch on in like every Dragapult list. I do think it should be pretty common. I do think not pretty common. I think it's probably, I'd say maybe like a 30 to 40% of the list are going to be playing a Moltres. I think more will not favor not playing it instead and opt for a Monkey Dory, or even like some of this very small percentage of lists do play a couple rare candy. But I think a lot of people like their Monkey Dory for more playing the mirror and into Grimmsnarl, which has been more successful, of course. So we're going to talk about that one later with its win in Merida. One part I do want to talk about is Turo, right? I think the most successful lists are still playing the Professor Turo scenarios that kind of get out of jail card. If you start something wrong, you get retreat locked, or you get stuck with a side duck or some weird situations. While the most successful lists continue to play them, a lot of lists are cutting them. And like it's maybe a card that like Pult lists could look at cutting to get a piece back. I've been some lists that have just cut it entirely and saying it's not needed as much. You're not going to open your Latias against an Yveltal deck. It's not a big deal. But also the decks that were playing retreat lock options are just a little bit down in play or down in playing those retreat lock options because of the prevalence of all these Turos. So I think we could see some successful lists at EUIC just foregoing the Turo entirely and saying, I really don't need this. I can get around without it. But the most devastating part with this Turo is the amount of times in Merida that I got Holucha to mess up my day. So something to still watch out for there if they do include the Turo. But yeah, I mean, this 3 boss, 3 counter catcher, like double jamming tower list is going to be pretty standard. I think Monkey could be there or could not be there, and Dragapult remains to be a deck to be to not be messed with.
Yeah. So is it hot or is it not?
Yeah, I do think Pult is still a hot play. Pult always tends to do pretty well in Europe. Again, Zard being popular will give it something good to feast on. And again, like Eric said, I think a lot of the Dango lists are disrespecting Pult a little bit. Like Dango used to have very, very good matchups in the Pult back when it played Monkey Dory, back when it played Picnic Basket. We do it with the double Turo. It's not quite enough sometimes. I mean, if Pult's able to get going quickly and they're able to set up for a turn, right, basically force Dango player to find Turo on the exact 4 to 6 turn. Or if not, then Pult's going to go and take 4 Iona to 2, and then you have a gutted board where you need to find KO on the Dragapult. So I think because of that reason, it's a little bit up there. And like Eric mentioned, Pulsar, I think, could be a little bit of a better play. Pulsar does give you a few extra lines. You have, anyone who enjoys playing Zard or Pult gets a little bit more with the Pult Zard. Again, shout out to Oscar Madsen for the building the list that's been so successful these past few weeks. But again, your Dragapult enjoyers, you get more play into Gardevoir because you play Charizard. And for your Charizard enjoyers, you get more play into Dragapult because you play your own Dragapult. And you can actually just have a mirror. And
it's pretty fun.
Unfair Stamp being able to scam some games and just let you get ahead before your opponent has a chance to do anything, I think could still be pretty strong.
I've actually been playing Prime in the Ascended format with
really?
Yeah. Like
well,
Prime,
hey, listen,
Prime plus Rare Candy is really good.
And items plus items remain broken. But everyone here's got a lot of Phantasmal Flames format left until the end of the month.
Yes, they do.
We'll come at you with some Ascended Hero stuff. I want to hear what Eric's cooking, what Parker's cooking, what I'm cooking. Make sure you subscribe so you can stay tuned for all that Ascended Heroes content when that comes around too.
All right, let's move on to the big and bad Grimmsnarl Frostlass. Parker, you've got a list here that is a lot of fun and interesting. Why don't you talk us through whose list this is and where kind of Marty's Grimmsnarl is in the state of the current format?
Yeah, so this list belongs to the champion of Merida.
What do you mean?
Grimmsnarl won? The first dub.
Bro,
their first dub on the belt.
Ain't no way.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
2026 and Grimmsnarl's winning. This was a league. This was a starter deck, right?
It was, yeah, absolutely.
That's actually crazy when you say it like that, Maddox.
That's a very unfair representation for the strength of this deck, Raj's strength as a player, and just how strong this deck is in the meta right now. But yeah, Parker, tell us about what these lists are looking like these days. What people have forgotten about Grim. What's going on with it now?
Yeah, so I think people were kind of writing off Grim, and I don't know, one of the last episodes, I think me and Eric both had it in like B tier or something like that. And I was like, it's still a pretty good deck, spreading damage is good. But it is a bit less popular than those 4 that we just tackled. A lot of them right now are playing like 3/3 Frostlass because that is just kind of a win con against some decks. But the one we're looking at, the one that I think a lot of people will be on, is this Merida winning list, which plays the 2/2 Frostlass, but chose to probably take a 1/1 Frostlass and change it into a 1/1 Toadscruel.
Slime mold colony,
mold colony. Slime in the ops. Yeah, so like pretty much not 100% patches your Gholdengo matchup, but it makes it so they're not destroying Grimmsnarl every turn, and they have to eventually boss your Toadscruel and kill it. Which is really good. We got the Psyduck in there. It just helps tremendously against Dragapult. Because
the numbers do be numbering against Dragapult, bro. 200 plus 130. That's a number.
Yep, definitely. Because then they can't one shot your guy. But I see most lists, or maybe not most lists, but a lot of lists are cutting the kind of like annoying guys. So like the Badu's, the Evil Talls. I actually don't see Evil Tall in really any. I guess retreat block isn't good. Yeah, I know. I was like, this card is like insane for Grimmsnarl, but I guess most people would disagree.
It's just crazy how how low the retreat lockers are right now, because like We even had a format where like Joltik Box was playing, a retreat locker as a way to get back in the game, right? And so like you're saying, hey, I'm not playing Badoo anymore. I'm not playing Evital. That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, when you go and look at all the lists right now, right? Gholdengos are playing 2 Turos, Gardevoir is playing a Turo, Dragapult's playing a Turo, Charizard's playing Turo. Sometimes Pidgeotzards will play like Turo, Palpad, Turo, right? Like, it's just not. You're not getting away with it as much anymore. And I think Raj's list is interesting here because it's opting for like different techs with the Psyduck and the Toedscruel, but also just like more consistency and power with like 3 bosses orders and like 3 Spike Moves. I mean, there's some like cool choices here that are just like getting going. And Parker, like you said, I mean, I think these decks for a while at least had like the efficient low to the ground attackers like a Badoo or a Evital to buy time, but now they're just saying, hey, I'm just gonna go and like turn 1 Evo, you kill whatever's active, and then I'm gonna start like sending it. Like
yeah, I'm just gonna Lily turn 1. I'll surely find Spike Myth off of it, and
when you play 3, like you probably do. Like
yeah, no, for sure.
And one of the craziest things that, and just shout out, back to the stream. The player, it was Raj. Sorry, Raj had to like prize all of his Grimmsnarls because he only plays 2. So he prized that, had got unlucky that game. Had to like pull off the prize on the Monkey Dory just to play the game. And like if he doesn't pull off the prize there, like we probably don't see Grim winning that event, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, just the power of like Frostlass and Monkey Dory to just build up damage anyways, despite even not having your main attacker in play, like can just be really, really strong.
Yeah. Any other trends in the list? I think we got them all.
Yeah. I know that the event before this one, there was like a Grim list that intended to play 4 night stretchers. I don't know if we're like seeing that, but I see on a deck list there because he only put 3 on the deck list. But I don't think we'll really be seeing that much recovery in it, but I don't know. This list right now is only playing 1 candy, which
that's pretty standard.
I think it's fine. I play 2 because like what if one game I open Secret Box and I'm just like I could basically win on the spot if I have Boss and Grimmsnarl, but then like a prize it or something.
I'm always sketched that like these decks are playing the 2 Evos, and the trend that I've seen is that they're all cutting Energy Search or a way to find energy from the deck, and it's like those off chances when you don't have energy in your hand. But
you play 8, it's fine. You play 8 or 9, it's fine.
I mean, the early list, Maddox, they all played E-Search before that.
Yeah, they played like 9 dark plus E-Search. Yeah, that is fair. We are cutting down on cards a little bit.
Yeah,
but you gotta. You gotta make cuts and prioritize somewhere.
And the Devo's still in there now, right? So
yeah. I would never cut that card.
Yeah,
I guess maybe there was a point where it was.
Yeah, I know. Parker, did you look at Kaido's list at all? For this one,
I did. I saw it did play the Badoo.
No, it didn't have the Badoo. It had an Iron Bundle, which was a neat
inclusion. Bundle, that's right.
Second place at Auckland, but also even like 4 Spike Myth, just like to get this card going. So
we're seeing a Grim.
Yeah, we are seeing Grimmsnarl, and he has 2 candy like you like. So
bundle, all right.
A bundle plus just like a very clean like 4-4-4 supporter split. So again, whenever I see like strong international players playing cool lists, and I know that I take notice of it, I'm sure others take notice of it too.
Wait, I just realized he has no boss either.
He's got bundle. Bundle plus stretcher.
I don't know about the no boss. That's a little suspect.
Bundle plus stretcher and counter catcher. We're fine.
I don't know about that.
Get that Badoo out of the active, bro. I want to hit anything else. I don't hate it.
I want to boss Latias.
No, you don't need that, right? Like, because like eventually you're gonna like stack up all the damage on these guys that you want to boss.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like Mew's just gonna be taking 3 damage counters each turn plus my monkeys. Like that's a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage.
It is a lot of damage.
Yeah, good shout out, Maddox.
Yeah, Parker. So it's not this. Grimmsnarl did just win in Merida, and is it still hot for EUIC? What's your take on it heading into the rest of this format?
I think it is. Like you're slightly favoring a Guardy. Dango could go either way. I think you are favored into Zard. I think that Boltnor is close, but like a lot of the game comes down to just stealing wins with Devo, I think. But it's like a deck that like, you know, has the tools to beat everything, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's low to the ground, right? It doesn't have a lot of
Yeah.
onboard support, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
It's not like it has any like 100-0 matchups.
yeah, I don't. I
It
mean, Raging Bolt's
doesn't
pretty
have like
bad.
bad ones. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You need like the evil tall for bolt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Raging Bolt's pretty bad. But outside of that, I mean, I can say it's hot. I don't know. It's the same list. Like it's always like good, right? But like there's not
Mhm.
enough top players playing it. So like
Yeah.
that's the hard part to evaluate when you're saying hot or not on like a deck like this.
That's the
Uh,
big thing for me. Like, can one of these make top 8 or push top 16? I think for sure. Is it gonna
yeah,
win? Like, I think there's a good chance that Raj could be the only person to ever win with Grimmsnarl. Because I don't know if that deck has it.
Mike Ellis could win. Mike Ellis could win.
But, I mean, I'm just saying I don't even know if it's gonna push for. I don't even like. Will it make finals again? I don't even know for sure. This might have just been its weekend.
Also, shout out Zach Cohen. He's been grinding Grimmsnarl too.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Scarab's strongest soldier right now.
True, true. All right. And Eric, another one, a deck that was the talk of Mega Evolutions format, had some high highs and now is maybe on a low low, perhaps. Talk to us a little bit about Mega Absol.
Listen, we are never so back until we saw Tord's list from Birmingham because man, we got a risky deck list in here. And when I say risky, I mean he's playing 2 copies of Risky Ruins in this Mega Absol deck. This is of course Tord's list. Does play the Evital, but the Risky Ruins is the standout card here in his list. It really enables you to trolley after you put the Risky Ruins in play and just put damage counters on all of your non-dark Pokemon and start to enable Monkey Dories every turn, which is like it's kind of like Frostlass. We just got done talking about Frostlass. It's like I got my own Frostlass. Oh, and by the way, you just benched a Pokemon. Yeah, put 2 damage counters on that. I'll boss it up next turn and hit it for 200 and take a card from your hand. Right? Like Mega Absol is one of the strongest attackers in the game right now. I mean, let me rephrase. It's got one of the strongest attacks in the game. Right? Discarding a card from your opponent's hand is really, really strong. So I think that Mega Absol, they're also playing the Moltres to be able to like hit 260 into Gholdengo with the Risky Ruins. That's why he's playing the Risky Ruins. Um, I do want to just shout out one last thing before we move on to the trends of the list. So Fernando Sofentes has also been playing Mega Absol for a little while now. Been playing a little bit of a different list. I can try to pull it up real quick because I did not have it ready. But he's playing the 2/2 Toad Scroll line in his Mega Absol deck, which is a pretty big standout. So if you see a Toad Scroll hit the field against Fernando Sofentes or anyone playing Mega Absol, most likely they're playing this list here that's on the screen now from Fernando Fuentes. Some big stat outs too is like he doesn't have the Moltres, right? So he's just going straight Toad Scroll, which is good, right? There's no need to play Fire Energies. You just have 7 Dark and 2 Mist. So those are some kind of cool things about the deck list right now.
Fernando's list also has the Watchtower, which I think is a neat standout. It does turn off your own Mega Kangaskhan's ability, but it's really for some of those Iono win cons into Charizard, which can be a pretty tough matchup otherwise. So pretty neat to see there. The full 2/2 commitment, kind of scary for Dengo players.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little scary. I mean, there's no evolution, which is good. They can't just go like, all right, take a turn off and Evo and the 2 Toad Scrolls like Enzorark tries to do. I think some of the big standouts for me is that like if you're trying to figure out which list you're playing against, it is the stadiums that will like trigger you, right? There's a clear difference in stadiums. One has Lively Stadium, Town Store, Watchtower, and one just has 2 Risky Ruins. So you should be able to discern what kind of list you're up against based on just the stadium alone. So yeah, I mean, I like Absol. It's a deck I've also been enjoying a little bit, but I mean, I gotta say some of its weaknesses are, man, like if you go first and you get item locked and you don't find the trolley for turn 1, you're hurting a little bit. You're hurting a little bit, and then same thing. Like if you go second, sometimes you just have a dead hand, man. This deck's a pile. I mean, it's 4 rows per reason on Limitless, right? Like it's a pile. and you just gotta find the Arven. If you find the Arven, you're cooking. What else you guys got?
Yeah, I mean, again, we've seen the Moltres inclusion in this, adding a little bit of fire to it, but does that make it enough to be a hot play for EUIC?
I think it does. And it's just kind of like you're wrapping all of our topics together, right? Like Dragapult seems to be a really good deck right now. You can tech for Gholdengo, however you want to tech for it. I personally like the Moltres better. Because again, same thing as before with a Raging Bolt, you just prize race them. It's kind of funny. It's just crazy. But just having the ability to discard like a card from your opponent's hand after ioning them to like 2 is just so inherently strong. And I expect some of the top Asia players really to come over and really just feast on the Dragapults. So the Dragapults are going to feast on the Zards, and the Mega Absols are going to feast on the Dragapults. And if you hit this list, it's scary. It's a scary list. So I think it's hot. What do you guys think?
It is tough. It is like some people like really think this deck is good. Some people, you know,
Yeah.
it sucks. Like, I don't know. I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it is a good play. Tord will
Yeah.
be at UIC probably too.
Playing
Really,
it for
yeah.
sure, 100%.
For me with this list, the problem is that I don't know if it is built to do enough into all the decks, right? I think you have a really strong core of, 50, 55 cards that are like, yeah, these cards are like set. And it's the last 5 that like make or break your tournament run, right? Because you can go and say, okay, I have this Moltres and Fire Energy stuff. Well, it helps in the Gholdengo. Or I have Toad Scroll in the Gholdengo. But now you lose to Dawnzard with Klefki. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to go add Devolution and all these like extra tricks and like
Yeah.
a Gold Duck. It's like, well, now you just get blown up by Gholdengo. So like, it's kind of hard to piece that together. And even with the text, it's not like an auto win. It doesn't like the text doesn't automatically like
Sure.
win you the game for you because, like Eric said, the deck's a little bit of a pile. You're
There's a
very
little bit of a
reliant on like
ball.
that trolley. And again, I think there's a lot of skill expression with this where you need to be the right player to go and get the right board set up on that trolley since your Pokemon search is so limited and when you get to use it. And it's very important about like which supporters you're playing when you have access to them. And also like this was a novel concept when it first came out, but people are ready for it. They have a game plan for it. For me, not quite as hot of a play. I think that decks are ready for this. And I think the deck has honestly been down in play for a reason. It's just not as strong as it once was earlier this season.
Yeah. Well, it's always going to be strong if you got Tord playing it. So there's
Can't
that.
go wrong with that.
All right, those are our kind of like the biggest 6 decks in the meta, walking you through the state of their meta game and the format. But each of us want to bring our own kind of like fun, honorable mentions per se, and talk about some, some lists that maybe you're not thinking about a little bit. So Maddox, why don't you kind of tell us what your honorable mention is today, and walk us through what the best deck list is?
Yeah, my honorable mention is a deck that I have disrespected for almost its entire life. But at Merida, I was talking to Pablo Mesa, who played Ceruledge to Merida, ended up with I think a 41st placement. I was talking to him just about the deck, and he just kind of said, "Hey, I saw Ross playing it a lot. Ross Cawthon, of course, who's played this a lot as well, and a very experienced player." And Pablo just kind of said, "Hey, I get to play every game,
Yep.
and if I'm playing and sequencing perfectly, then I still have an opportunity to win every game." So I've actually been playing a little bit on ladder lately, and honestly, the deck's pretty solid. I mean, when sequenced optimally, able to set up your board, and just you can dump energy quickly. Again, Eric doesn't like that there's this card called Carmine, but when you play into going first, saying, "Hey, I'm just gonna go get set up." Oh, you in turn 2, get a Cerulean play and take 1 prize. Like that's all you need to do, and you can still win the game from there. Next turn, you take 2. And then you need to just keep thinning your deck into a way where you can stack it with just a very small amount of cards left, with a Briar left in there, and then be able to go and say, "I'm going to Briar, blow up anything you have." And if you can't ever pull off that game plan, you have Legacy Energy too. You can go like Legacy Energy, your 2 prizer plus Turo, a Squawk, and like set up a 1 prize board. Honestly, I found a lot of like really
That's
good power
awesome.
out of this deck. It's fun. What
I
did I
mean,
say
I
something
told
wrong?
you it's fun. I've been telling you for a while. The problem is there's more
Yeah.
Carmine in there.
Nah.
Yeah, you go first and it's okay. And honestly, my best games I've found, I'm only playing Carmine once because I'm playing Carmine on my first turn.
Then why are we not
I'm
playing
playing
for
research.
research?
I'm playing research and I'm playing boss because Erica, because I can only play Carmine on my first turn, so I need to see it on my first turn.
Ah,
So, anyways, do I think this deck is gonna do great at EUIC or like in the rest of the format? Not really, but like I think if more top players spent time with this, we'd see the better results with it. Which is why we've seen
agreed.
folks like Pablo Mesa and Ross Cawthon, having these top finishes with a deck with, only so many options you can do, and I'm sure that they're making every single possible play they can. Still ending up with some decent finishes. So, is it a deck that could go on a hot run one of these days? Maybe. But again, I think it needs to be played, by the right pilot. And honestly, a deck that's impressed me, especially if you need a little bit of a change of pace and just need to practice your sequencing. It's pretty good with that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Not a fan, but
I like the deck. I just don't like Carmine.
yeah, we know.
No.
We're talking about piles of decks. We
Hey,
can talk about Eric's honorable mention, which is none other than Raging Bolt.
we know I'm a Raging Bolt enjoyer and I'm a Ride-On Turbo enjoyer. We like to go fast here on the Beach Court podcast. So this is Raging Bolt. This is Andres Estefano's list from second place in Toronto. Took it all the way to a second place finish, and no one was talking about Bolt going to that tournament. Everyone's like, Bolt sucks, Bolt sucks, Bolt sucks. And it's like, oh, there's a mega here and a mega there. And it's like, I'm just going to KO all of you guys for 6 prizes. Oh, there's no retreat lockers? Great. I don't have to play a lot of switches, but we still play Turo. There's a lot, like this list is really cool. I think if your opponent flips over a Raging Bolt, the first thought that has to go through your head is owls or no owls. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to be sitting against a player that's playing owls. But that one time you're not, it'll be me.
I think you and Emily Foreman are the only players to ever play Raging Bolt out owls, it seems like.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Anyways, so just want to kind of call out some big things in the list, right? You have to be careful early against this list, right? It is a turbo go fast list. It plays 4 copies of Crispin, and we're trying to attack with Thunderburst Storm or Torrential Pump on turn 2, right? Ideally, we're getting 1 down on one of them, and then we're crisping on turn 2. So the Owls really enable that deck, and Sandy Shocks is low key, like really good late game. That plus Energy Switch, just attacking Raging Bolt, allows us to be able to boss his orders in that same turn, which is really cool. So there's some cool things this list has going for it. I think Raging Bolt, maybe. It's a deck that like it's gonna be up there. Is it gonna win again? I don't know. But it's still a good deck. I mean, there's a lot of no Dragapult player wants to see this deck. No Charizard player wants to see this deck. Right? Like they're like the even Grim doesn't want to see this deck, right? We already talked about that's 3 of our big 4 that like don't want to see that deck. Mega Absol, they're probably like a little scared, but they're just gonna go Evital and say like, how many switch outs do you have? Probably. Yeah, I mean, so
Gonna
like,
get the Speedwing involved to try to claw game back,
Yeah, I mean that's why I don't like the Owls version, right? But I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. What do you guys think? Is this deck hot or not?
I think it's in the oven, but it's not on yet.
All right, we're cooking. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, again, the Raging Bolt is.
We're prepping, not cooking.
I mean, this like Chilean Bolt list, right? We've seen it with a couple of good successful tournament runs now. I think it's just a really cool way to play Bolt, right? It gives you some extra dimensionality. Like we've talked about before with like what made Gholdengo better is that, hey, it used to be this 2 prize beat stick. And once you gain the single prize board option, it gave you a little more options. Well, the problem with Raging Bolt before was, hey, you can only take prize on the active. Oh, hey, let's slap a Wellspring in there. Now we're taking 2 to start.
Yep.
And getting really, really disruptive towards the board. I mean, and doing the unthinkable of saying, I mean, it's almost built more like a Terrorbox deck with the 4 Crispin instead of and only 3 Sada and like Glass Trumpet. We have a bunch of cool.
Like, what?
And honestly, one of like the most high, like one of the highest power cards in here, I think, is the Vitality Band to give you the option to like Torrential Pump the active for 110, which is like missed so much, in like a Terrorbox deck that this list is able to play. So I think it's really cool to see. And again, like a strong and fun deck to play that will continue to do well, I think.
We'll see who pilots to the best. But let's talk about Wellspring Ogerpon. And Parker, you've got a deck that's cooking up some Wellspring Ogerpon.
Yeah, speaking of slapping a Vitality Belt on your Clustering Ogerpon and taking 2 on turn 2. We have Ye Ol Terra Box.
5
Unfortunately,
rows. This is a pile.
this is truly a pile. We're looking at Rahul's list here. This is definitely a pile, but a lovable pile.
It's a lovable pile.
You could get hit with one of like 10 different attackers every turn. So, it's always it's a fun deck. I think it always it's weird to me because it's always good. It's always like not. It's like you get Iono too much. You use all your resources and then you lose, and But 4/4 owls. I guess you have to think if you're playing against Raging Bolt if they open half of these cards, but otherwise, like you see an Ogre Pod, I'm probably playing against Terror Box.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vitality Band is a cool piece, right? Not only to use with the Torrential Pump, like we said before, but also with Pikachu, Topaz Bolt, be able to hit for 210. The problem, you can't use 310. Sorry, but you can't use Sparkling Crystal, which is a little bit of the downside, but I guess you still need that a little bit of extra damage. So I think it's cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like the one thing that stands out in this deck is like, what do we lose at rotation?
Nest Ball.
Yeah, all of your Nest Balls.
That's fine. We play Pokepad.
What? No.
that finds Sand Rotom, bro.
That doesn't find your Terras.
Terra Orb does.
Terra Orb. Oh my gosh.
Wait, we're playing oh no, we're just gonna play Terra Orb now.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, this list seems like pretty gas post, bro.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Like, I mean, Nest Ball's the best ball, but like,
Nest Ball's the best ball.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's our rundown of all of our top meta decks heading into the European International Championships. If you're heading over, good luck. Hope you enjoyed that. We're gonna move on now. First off, we're gonna give a quick shout out to FCBC. They're some of the best sleeves in the game. I don't have a box on me right now. My boxes are somewhere else. But
here, I got
sleeving up decks.
Yeah, the second.
Yeah, box. I mean, like literally, like you can see, like these are my open sleeves, and it's because I sleeved up Raging Bolt and beat all your butts last week at the challenge. So
black and
you're welcome.
Yeah, it is funny though at the cup that Eric was judging the cup this past week, and then I went to our buddy Chris made cut, and he was using some other sleeves, and they were just they were dead, and I literally got to take off. I unsleeved the FCBCs on one of my decks and gave them to him, and they were fine. Yeah, so
his sleeves are raunchy, bro. I was like, they're like dirty, like dusty. I'm like, you've been playing this Gardevoir deck too long without resleeving, bro. All right, let's move on into my trivia segment. I'm actually going to change the name of the segment this week.
Oh.
And we're going to play a game I like to call Showcase Showdown.
Oh, okay.
Are you guys familiar with what Showcase Showdown is?
No. Unless you're talking about like Price is Right?
I'm talking about Price is Right. Yes, I am. Okay. So Showcase Showdown, I'm going to give you a group of cards. We're going to do Pokemon cards. That's... And I need you to tell me the closest price without going over. In this case, it's going to be Maddox versus Parker this week.
Oh.
Are you guys ready?
You're going down. I normally run the game shows on the pod, so you're going down, Parker.
Yeah.
All right. So
you're just going to take you to go no rebuttal. Just say, yep. No, I'm going down.
I'm just kidding.
Nah, I'd win.
Bro, you work at a card store. You got the advantage on card prices, man.
All right. So we're talking about the most expensive cards from Ascended Heroes, the newest set.
Gosh.
Okay, so these are the 10 most expensive cards from Ascended Heroes. I'm going to give you all their names, and I want you to give me what their market price is without going over, and the closest will win.
So we're going the total.
And we're going. I rounded to the dollar.
Okay, so the sum of all 10. All right.
Sum of all 10. Yeah, it's a showcase, right? Like,
gosh,
you would win all these cards in our theoretical game. Okay, all right. So the first up, the most expensive card is Mega Charizard Y, the gold one. The second most, the first most expensive card is the Gengar. My bad. The Mega.
I was about to say, like, that card's more expensive than the Gengar. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. So the Gengar is the most expensive. Then you got the Charizard Gold. Then you have the Mega Dragonite SIR. Then you've got the Mega Dragonite Hyper Rare, the gold, the Pikachu SIR, the Pikachu other SIR. There's 2 Pikachu SIRs. The Lilith Clefairy SIR, which is so beautiful. What a beautiful card. Mega Feraligatr, Maddox, your favorite.
Really?
SIR is the 7th highest card. And at number, sorry, where were we? 9? We're at 9. That was 8. At 9, we have Mega Diancie, and at 10, we have Enzorark. So I have 10 cards. Those are all the cards, the most expensive cards. How much is it worth? And for determining who goes first or second here, I am going to ask you to flip a coin. And so
You have a coin?
I have a coin. My coin is this FIFA Switch game.
Hey.
Heads will
I mean,
be
I could flip Brilliant Diamond if you
No,
want.
heads will be the logo, tails will
Flip
not
you
be the
off.
logo. Parker, call it in the air.
Heads.
It is tails. It is
All right.
tails. Maddox, you go first.
Yeah, I'll go first to talk it out a little bit. Listen, so like you have to base the baseline on like the most expensive card and the cheapest card because everything's gonna go in between there. So like the Mega Gengar, I think I saw some people on Twitter like talking about selling it for like 1,000 to like 1,300. I don't know what the market price is like today. Now that it's like been over the weekend, but I still think it's gonna be like decently up there. So I'm gonna put that card around like 1,200. So then when I kind of do the math and everything else going down, like I think the Zoroark SIR is probably, I mean, like it's a cool Pokemon. It's gonna be like pretty expensive, but like we have Mega Feraligatr being like more than that. That seems like a little odd to me. So maybe like the Zoroark isn't that expensive. So I think we're dropping from like a 1,200 to like an 800, and then to like a 600, and then like it spreads out from there. So if I do my quick maths on my little post-it note, so we're at like 26 plus 7 times 2. So I'm gonna, Eric. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock in $4,031 because 31's my favorite number.
$4,031.
Yep.
All right, Parker, you are up next. What's your thought process and what number you want to say?
So I'm doing the total sum of all the cards.
Total sum of all the cards.
Oh my god!
How much would they all be worth together?
Okay, so I know as of like 2 days ago, the Gengar was sitting at like just above 1,000. So let me put 1,000.
Bro's got the phone calculator. I was doing on this on post.
Oh, is that allowed? Is that allowed?
I
have the calculator.
It's allowed. It's allowed. I trust you. It's allowed. You're fine. You're fine.
I think I remember seeing a price for there's a Charizard was the next one.
The Charizard Gold, yeah.
No one likes Charizard. It's probably like $2.
Yeah, Charizard state.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I remember the Dragonite being like 500, so it's probably like 600.
Okay.
600, yeah. Well, guess
don't say it.
600 or 700, you know.
Missed opportunity right there.
The game continues another week, Parker. So
yeah, okay, so Dragonite was definitely, I think it was like 540, I think is what I saw.
Okay.
I'm gonna put 540.
We're not going through all 10 cards in our head, are we?
Bro, yeah.
I
have
to just add it up.
We gotta we just gotta pick a number.
Okay. All right.
Max guessed 4,031. What's your guess?
I'm gonna guess. All right. Like 3,800, I guess.
3,800 is your guess?
Yeah.
Okay. The most expensive card is the Mega Gengar, as aforementioned. $960 market price.
It went down.
The least expensive card,
I might be
Zoroark, is $163.
Packing it up.
If you add up all these cards, let's just run through them because it's fun. Mega Charizard, the gold, $650. Mega Dragonite, $555. Other Mega Dragonite, $550. Pikachu EX, $500. That's like the nice one from the game.
Pocket, yeah.
From Pocket. The other one is $400.
Okay.
And then it drops off steep there. So Lilith Clefairy EX is $272. Mega Feraligatr $230. Diancie $216 and Enzorark $163. Add all those up, it takes you to $4,504, which
Let's
means
go.
Maddox, you are our victor.
Dang.
I did it wrong.
Wait,
I
you
thought
said-
I thought the more expensive cards are more expensive, and the cards in the middle no one cared about. But everyone kind of moderately cares about those cards.
It's kind of
Is that
funny.
the-
See, Parker, you can tell you've never watched Prices Right, because like the best strategy there would be like to take $1 if you think that he's like over, or if you think he's under, you should go like 4,032.
Yeah, but
Oh,
in the
yeah.
show, but when you do the showcases at the end, you're not bidding on the same thing, so you can't do that in the
Yeah,
showcase.
yeah, you can't do that in
showdown.
showcase. Yeah, yeah.
Alright, so you set
Yeah.
me up to lose.
I did, and you still won.
Okay, so the
Always.
strategy.
I mean, to be fair, I thought I was over when you started talking. I thought I was like, 900. I'm like, oh man, we're
Wait,
cooked.
didn't
But
he? What was it? It was 40.
40-51. Oh, sorry, 40-51, something like that. He was pretty close.
I thought he was over.
I closed my spreadsheet. It was like 4,500. He was under.
you had 3,800. I guessed 4,031, and it was like 4,500.
Oh, I thought you said 4,300.
No, you said 4,030.
Still over.
Okay,
but
okay.
anyways, if you have $4,500 laying around, you can buy those 10 cards.
And you will probably make $5,000 over the next 5 years if you do that.
Perhaps.
Probably.
I mean, I did that question because I was like I was playing on live and someone had the Zoroark and I was like, damn, that's a pretty card. I wonder how much it is. And then I went
Well,
down
it's
a rabbit.
free on live if you open it.
And then I went down a rabbit
Get
hole.
the right luck.
Anyways, let's move on. Got some news and announcements. So first up, like we talked about, Orlando registration was today. The day we're recording this podcast. By the time you are listening to it, it will already have been out. But catcher, registration might still be open. I mean, like we were looking at it, it's like only 2,600 players registered as of like 4 hours after going live. I think this attributes a little bit to like it being on Easter weekend, right? I mean, is this the Pokemon community saying, "Hey, like, stop putting on the holidays, man"?
I think we're a little too close to the start of the event. I think well, the good news is that this is a sign that maybe in the game we're in a spot where there's actually enough capacity to meet the demand. Or getting closer to that. As of right now, the time we're recording, end of Wednesday night, it's 2,900 players, so it does keep going up, which is good. But I mean, yeah, tricky weekend for it. But honestly, like I'm just pumped to be able to get the whole group together.
Me too.
I mean, Parker, I know you've been in the group chats. I mean, like, you're registered. I mean, and you've been doing you've been doing Florida regionals for much longer than we have. I mean, like, what's the whole like 904 Jacksonville, like Florida coast, like atmosphere and vibe when like gearing up for a in-state regional?
People actually genuinely start caring about trying to like improve. Like you saw, like not to like single anyone out, but like Michael, he's just like, screw it, I'll play Pokemon or like whatever. And I was like,
I gotta play.
I wanna get a positive record for my rounds, like that. I want to actually play test all that stuff, and people start caring.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love, like, I think it was 2 years ago before we had our last Orlando regional, when it was like right after rotation that, we had, we organized on our own, like getting people together and saying, hey, we're going to practice like post rotation and like best of 350 minutes format, like some cool things like that. I mean, and I always appreciate that time. And it's just like a more unique feeling when, we've been lucky enough to go to some of these regionals and know some of the folks there. But like when you go to a home state regional, like, almost like, so many people there, and it's just like awesome to be among like your community.
Yeah. And if you are listening to this podcast and you're in the area and you want some good practice, the Saturday before Orlando, which would be March 28th, you want to come up here, come to Luckiest Man's, come to the cup I'm judging. We are doing best of 3 Swiss at that cup so that you can practice for Orlando. Will be a long day, but gives you some really good practice heading in Orlando if you want to come play in that. So definitely come up. I'm excited. Hopefully I'm not going to go see Mickey Mouse because I'm winning finals with Amp You very much. So, I don't know. It's gonna be weird. I mean, Gardevoir, Charizard, Miraidon, like Sada, like so many cards, man.
I don't know, counter catcher.
Nest
I mean,
ball.
The game changes after rotation.
Yeah.
Until they reprint Iona or Marty or something.
It's gonna be a fun, sad tournament because it's gonna be like all the guys are going now.
Yeah, I mean, Orlando's going to be everyone getting their last shot with Gardevoir, last shot with Charizard, last shot with Gholdengo, right? I mean, so many of the big players, right? We spent most of the episode talking about a lot of those decks aren't even decks anymore after a rotation.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Wild to say.
All right. Next up, some other news and announcements. Sydney, Australia, has stepped their game up this week. They've got a tournament this weekend. I know we were talking most about EUIC, but this meta still the same. Everything still applies to Sydney. Maddox, what's the news down under?
Yeah, super cool. I mean, and I've heard like some rumblings of like trying to do something more for these tournaments. And the big news here is we have a community stream that is happening at Sydney Regional Championships. It's super, super cool to see. PvP Steve, a big Pokemon Go content creator and also caster for them as well. He is, helping organize some of this and has been, posting on his socials and, has not only streams for Pokemon Go, which I think they've had in previous year, maybe last year even potentially, but for TCG and VGC. So we have the whole, pseudo TPCI graphic of saying, hey, here's all of our casters for the events coming up. So just like really cool to see that we're seeing this level of support and like the community stepping in to fill a need that they know is missing. They say, hey, we have a lot of great Australian players to showcase. We have a lot of good, games to show and putting together the efforts for it. So PvP Steve is like running and like producing this event. The Pokemon Go is on his own Twitch channel, but then VGC and TCG have their own new channels, Oceania, TCG, and VGC respectively, to highlight these players in this region. So super, super cool to see. And one thing that's like funny, like time wise, is
Friday night,
because of how time zones work. It's like Friday night, like the day you're all listening to this podcast, like you can tune in to the TCG stream like that night and listen and like watch players in Sydney play. So it gets you a little bit like ready for EUIC, maybe see the last minute games, maybe see, see what Kaido's cooking, see what Henry Brand or Natalie Millar, any of those folks are cooking. So it'd be cool to see. And again, just like a really big, like fun move for the, community down there in Oceania. They used to have OCIC, don't have that anymore. We're not getting that broadcasted. But again, starting to get a little bit more of that regional circuit back. And, hopefully if things like this start going well, then, maybe you see an official TPCI supported stream, which would be the next huge step.
Yeah, I mean, I know that like it's really cool. Like, Merida recently did it too. Everyone's just doing streams, man. Just set up a camera, just put the game on. You don't need a lot, and they're going above and beyond.
See it.
They're going above and beyond, like adding casters. Like that's really cool. So I'm excited for that. Parker, Friday night when you're at work, just turn it on the TV, bro. Like let everyone watch it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure all the Magic players would love that.
They might. You don't know. I mean, we've had a lot of Magic players come to Pokemon.
Can it be like, look how cheap? Like, see that deck right now, winning the tournament, only costs you $90. Yeah,
$90. That's expensive.
I was like $20.
Well, it's because it has Fez, because it has Fez and Neo Upper or Secret Box.
Fez is only $4 now, bro.
Really? You'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Neo Upper and Secret Box are like $10, unfortunately, but yeah.
Yeah, they are. All right, and before we get to our predictions, which will be our last topic, I just want to give everyone a reminder about the new Play Pokemon rules, because this is your EUIC prep episode. The new rules go into effect in Europe. So
true.
Tempo of Play, 45 seconds deck search. No more, no less.
For the first deck search.
For the first deck search, yep. 45 seconds. So get
that first stream game.
I know.
The prize tag, like everyone. I'm waking up early Friday morning before work to go and like watch some of the stream and just be like that first deck search. Someone plays Buddy Poffin. I'd be like, all right, check the clock. Like how, like at what point are they going to stop prize checking, and at what point is the judge going to intervene? Like that's the big question for me.
I would love to do like a prediction for like over under penalties on stream this weekend, but like I don't want to go back and keep track.
Well, actually, I'll just do one. We can do one right now where we can just go and say time of the first deck search.
Oh.
So I'll set the line at, is 40 seconds a reasonable line?
I think 45 seconds is like the reasonable line.
Okay, 45 seconds. Okay, 45 seconds. For his first deck search, is the first deck search of the first game on stream at EUIC, under or over 45 seconds. Parker, what you think?
It's over.
Yeah, it's definitely over.
All right, I'm gonna believe in the under. I think someone's gonna be scared of it. They're gonna be locked in.
Okay, with it.
I'll take the under.
They start streaming round 1 or something.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
They start streaming round 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's usually like a really high profile player. Like
it's gonna be like Kaido versus Tor somehow, right? Right.
Okay.
Actually, no. Daichi won UIC last year, so they'll probably if they'll probably show him.
Right.
Ryuki. Wait, yeah, Ryuki won. My bad. Getting all the talented Japanese players mixed up. Yeah, Turtle, Cloth.
Parker, are you still going over?
Yeah, I'll still go over.
Okay, Max, you're going under. Okay. Anyways, the next rule, just a reminder, end of round procedures will be changing as well. So no longer +1 turn after time is called. We're going back to +3 turns, and the overtime clock will be set to 15 minutes and not 10. So you got a little more time for your matches, but use it wisely. You're actually getting a lot of time.
Yeah, I really hope we don't run into any cases where it's like people don't finish in the 15 minutes. Like that should be plenty of time.
I'm talking about in
as long
general.
as
Like,
good base.
you're gaining. Let's do some math here. 3.
I mean, you're gaining 2 turns. Like
9. You're gaining 9 minutes maximum per match plus 2 more turns. 3 more turns.
True. Everyone, there might be enough time to go back to having lunch breaks. No, definitely not.
I do miss a good lunch break. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's move on to our predictions. We got some easy ones here to close out the episode. First one, Maddox, you're up first. Highest placing deck that includes the Moltres from Phantasmal Flames.
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, like, it did just win in Birmingham. I think it's going to win again. No. Like, it made top 4 in Toronto. Is going to do that again? Like, this card's kind of good, but, like, I don't know how many decks are really going to, like, afford to play it. But I think when you, like, throw them all together, I can't argue with the success that it's seen. So I'm just going to say it's going to make ASIM. It will be in the asymmetrical cut.
Okay. Parker?
It's making finals.
Finals?
Whoa.
Jeez.
Moltres is playing on Sunday. Is that what you're saying at EUIC right now?
Yep.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so Tord Box and
Dragapult,
some
or
Grims.
Zard. Or some Grims, yeah.
No,
like
Zard's playing Chi-Yu.
Both.
They could be playing both.
Give me Toxic. Give me top 32.
Ooh, not a Moltres believer.
I like the card. I'm just not a believer in the decks that it's in.
Yo, if Moltres is here, he'd say, yo, I'm heading you with those fighting words. I'm heading you with those fighting wings right now.
All right, next up, we got the rogue deck category. We got 5 rogue decks. I want you to tell me which deck finishes the highest. Rogue decks are my favorite, Raging Bolt. My second favorite, Miraidon. Alakazam. We didn't talk about Alakazam the whole time. Crustle and Pidgeot Control. Parker, which of those decks is finishing the highest at the European International Championships of 2026?
Pidgeot Control.
Whoa.
Okay.
It'd be like top 32.
All right, Maddox, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I guess, if Alessandro Cremascoli or Sander shows up with Pidgeot Control, it's a pretty good pick. But listen, for me, actually, I'm making a last minute change. I was about to say Crustle because there's a couple good like Crustle pilots. It's a can go capture the opportunity. But no, give me some Alakazam.
Yeah,
make it a run.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna pick Alakazam, but I'll let you have it.
You weren't gonna pick one of your beloved Raging Bolt or Miraidon?
Yeah.
No, because players in Europe don't play them well.
Dang.
Shots fired.
Well, that's because no one plays those decks in Europe.
Is Jesse Parker going? Do we know?
I have no idea.
I mean, if Jesse Parker's going, I might just press the full send button.
Pretty safe bet.
You know what? I think that there's a really good Miraidon list, even though it has Carmines in it, and I despise it. But like it has proven its success. So I think someone's gonna have a good run with Miraidon. Choose Miraidon.
All right.
All right, Maddox, you're up first this time. Winning deck and region, please. Winning deck.
You said you're up first. give me European players to win the hometown, right? I mean, listen, there's like just too much talent in Europe to let these international championships go to other regions anymore. Listen, we saw Japan take it last time. Who won the one before that? Oh, that was Tord. That's fine. He can keep, he's pretty good. He'll defend it. Before that, we had Alex Szymanski. We had some other folks. Listen, like Europe's got to hold the fort down. They gave it up last year. They're defending the fort this year. And what deck? What deck is going to win? None other than EUIC's favorite or Europe's favorite. Give me some Dragapult.
Oh,
fighting the odds and just doing what it does. Win tournaments.
Okay. Parker,
You know, I was actually gonna say Dragapult too, and I
you
think
can
I
still
still
say it.
am. Yeah, I think I still am gonna say Dragapult. Um, who wins though?
What region?
Yeah, probably. I was gonna say Japan, but I guess Japan doesn't like Dragapult anymore. I'm just gonna say North America.
Okay, North
All right.
America. All right, this is a slam dunk for me. We're gonna go Guardy North America. It's so simple and so easy.
I mean, I picked it last time, so I did not pick Guardy North America
Guardy
again.
stay stealing victories around here, you know? All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Beach Court Podcast. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, press the like, smash the subscribe. We'll be back not next week, but the week after. For those of you going to Europe to play, good luck, safe travels. For those of you not going, hope you have a great time. Happy Valentine's Day. You know, have a good holiday.
Yeah, enjoy EUIC. Everyone will be back afterwards to recap it and get you geared up for Seattle Regionals and, of course, Ascended Heroes format and all the tournaments to come after that.
Till next time, we'll see you around.
See ya.